discussed it.
The girls are going to the park and we played football.
These are gonna come out.
And then we,
9.1 is, they're gonna come up because we had discussion
so
tonight,
here,
and their admin team is gonna meet Thursday to review what we met.
okay, where do you play football?
Do they have stuff?
I got
Yep, nope.
as a gift. So we played last week, I got it as a birthday gift, and we played last week, and the kids just had so much fun. And,
All right. It's 6 o'clock.
It's like,
Meeting will come to order to the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. You have all the board members here except for Lacey. And we also have Brooke here, and no other visitors. It's a little empty here today, so. Agenda, do we have any changes?
Yeah, you can see item 6.1, we added policy for item B, just because we had a policy meeting tonight before the board meeting, so we can touch base on that. And then item 9.1 in policies, we are going to table policy 504 and 507 as far as an approval tonight. We want to spend some more time with our admin team based on what we discussed tonight in the policy committee. So we'd like to take that off the agenda.
Okay. We have a motion with those changes.
so moved.
Motion by Nicole. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Brittany. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 5, public comments and rebel recognition.
We got a good start to the fall sports season. So like I came out to pick up the kids and there was all a little, like a beehive. Everybody was everywhere. It looked good to get all the kids back into the school area, and that was nice to see. And I also saw that we had some people go out for a reading training.
that's
in
right.
Holly.
Yep, and that's part of my report too. I'll talk a little bit.
Wayne had a little markup on there and it looked really fun.
Yeah, it was good.
Looked stressful, but fun.
Yeah. I also should say, just a thank you to, and Micah doesn't want me to say it properly, but I think it's Micah and Buzz DeVries and I don't know who else, Joe O'Keefe helped you a little bit today too with feeding all these athletes. It's just, however you guys are making that happen, it's very much appreciated by many, or all, I guess. And so thank you for helping and organizing that whole meal deal.
I know the kids appreciated it.
Big time.
Yeah,
So, for sure. So
Well, I went to
something.
the first corn, I'd never gone to the fishing club
Yeah, that too.
feed last week, and I couldn't believe the turnout. My boys were very impressed, and I'm hoping that my oldest goes out for fishing, but it worked. That's pretty remarkable.
Love to have
It
it.
was amazing. That's yeah, good point. Thank you for bringing that up, Laura. I was there too. I was fortunate enough to ride around on my boat this summer with some kids too, so it was an awesome experience for me, and I think it was for the 2 kids in my boat.
I would think so.
They kept coming back, so it was awesome.
It's usually
Yeah,
the
Noah
same.
jumped off, and, but Mike, yeah, thanks for that too. That was a great summer, and Laura, to your point, that event was really well attended, so awesome.
great. All right, we'll move on to reports. 6.1, board committee reports, personnel committee. And I guess I can do this just as well as anybody. We met with the certified staff teachers, and things are going very well. They had a request to add some money onto the proposal, and we just really couldn't do that. Just with the steps and lanes, the proposed package was about as high as last year, and we're adding some additional. Their focus has been to try to add to the benefits and significantly on the healthcare premiums, so that staff can afford family premiums. We've significantly increased that, and as a trade-off, there is, in the past, it was, if you didn't use the money for healthcare, you could invest that in save, or 403B. We're removing that to offset that, and it will affect some teachers, but at the same time, we bumped up the 403B match. So it's still a really healthy benefits program, and we're really hopeful that folks will, well, we hope they approve it, but that people will take the health care, because we want to try to make the health insurance more viable for our district. The total package is significantly higher than it has been in the past, by probably 30–40%. But it's part of the trade-off, and we're doing the right thing. One of the things we've had is, just with steps and lanes, we had a significant increase that we haven't had seen in the past. So it made it a little bit more difficult, but we have more experienced teachers, so it's a good problem to have in that respect. And so right now, the district leaders, the negotiators with the teachers are taking it to the union, and they're going to review that and vote on it, and we'll see how things go. And hopefully it passes. We're really hopeful. We're excited about it. I think it's going to be really good for the district. So, all right. Anything else? Anybody? Nicole, I don't know if there's anything.
No,
else.
you summarized it great.
Okay. Agreed.
Nice work.
Policies committee.
We just met tonight on policies, and obviously, like Shannon said, we're gonna table 504 and 507 again. Shannon's gonna bring it back to the admin on Thursday, I believe you said. And just try to be consistent with what we put into the student handbook. So student handbook has to match with what we're putting in policies, and so then we will approve those at the next meeting along with the student handbook.
All right. Very good. 6.2 superintendent report.
Yeah, so Nicole talked about this earlier, that our elementary staff did our letters training. It was in Holly. We was very well attended by our staff. It's something we're trying, it's the art, so bear with me on this, but it's the art of teaching reading and the breakdown, and it has of phonics and that type of stuff. Schools that have used this and implemented it, and it's part of the READ Act, part of new policy or a new statute from the state legislators this past year. Letters is one of the approved programs, and so our staff is going through that. Each grade level was there, and there was only just a couple teachers that couldn't attend. Everybody else was there. So we're moving in a positive direction, united, and that's what we all wanted to see. And that's kudos to the staff and to Wayne and Brittany to get that all organized, and so we can start fresh together and have people alongside of us or alongside our teachers supporting. So the the fourth grade team, they're there. Now David was there, I was there, so now when I have an issue, I can go to my coworker and he can help me because he just went through the same training. And that was our focus, to make sure that we're all moving because one of the issues we saw in our MCA scores, our reading levels are not where we want them, or our efficiency. And so hopefully this is a step towards that. And so very nice to see it was so well attended, I guess. We had interventionists there, we had special ed teachers there. So we are collectively, I think, moving in a good direction in regards to that. Work session, this is for us to start thinking about. Lindsay brought this up. I appreciate it because it'd be nice before we unveil it. If you guys saw the messages that went out for the elementary, middle school, high school, it did have my welcome back letter in there. I originally had the strategic plan as a link, and then I started to, in the middle of the night, go, yikes, it can't be a link yet because we haven't totally finalized it with the district leadership team and the board too. We wanted to have a work session to say, okay, here's what we have. I also wanted to make sure our admin, and they've been doing a lot of work on it, but to make sure they were ready. Right? So then if somebody saw it, now it's changed again, and it's a workable document, don't get me wrong, but I wanted to make sure that when we unveil it, the board knows what it is, so you can answer questions if you get questions. The admin can, and then our district leadership team that help, be a part of that. So it'll unveil, we have a district leadership team meeting on August 29th at 7 a.m. And then I don't know, I was hoping the 28th, we could have had our board meeting, but now the 28th is something else. Later in my report, we got to move it because that's open house here at the high school and middle school. which affects you. So we gotta make a change with that meeting, which obviously then I can't have us meet about a work session because of that. So I don't know, and Lindsay's not here either, but, we have next week also, that we could meet maybe as a work session. I don't know. That's gonna be a board decision. I'd like us, and we can meet even the week of the 28th, I guess, 9th, that's workshop week, and it starts to get busy. But I think sports games, I think, start to happen as well. But we could, I just thought the district leadership team is meeting in the morning of the 29th. It'd be nice if the board had already met, if possible, as a work session and agreed to, hey, this looks good. So then I go to them, and if they say it looks good, perfect, let's unveil it, right? But thoughts?
Yeah, maybe the 21st. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, just we're so used to Monday nights, but I don't know what rules.
I won't be there either.
So two of you won't for sure?
Yeah, I cannot. I have my other job has.
Responsibilities, yeah, we got to, okay. So, here's the other thing, I can share, you guys maybe, and you correct me if I'm wrong, you maybe have access to it right now. Because I probably shared it with you, the strategic plan.
I haven't looked lately, but.
But you guys can see it all right now, and you can see it every day, because you are people that have viewing privileges, obviously. So if you can't be there, if you guys want to look at it, I think it's just kind of a review of what, I don't think that meeting should take, it's half hour at the very most. Just so you know what it is, and so you see it, okay? And you have an opportunity to ask questions, so if you two, if the 21st works for us, Laura, does that work for you? But if you have questions, just email me, and then we'll make sure that I address them or we talk about it at that meeting. Is that fair? Okay, 21st, sounds great. And what time now? 6 o'clock? Okay. First, that should work for me. I think it will, it'll be good. Right, Brooke, I'll be
I
around.
was gonna say, does it work for
Brooke, am I okay then? Anyway, it should work. Glendon Transportation update, this was just that we met, last week with Officer Vogel here and this Glendon drop-off pickup and how should the traffic flow, and let's just decide and let's go with it. So what we're gonna do, and I believe that got shared out on Friday as well. So buses are gonna be on Park Avenue dropping, high school enter door 10, middle school is door 8, I believe it's door 8 in the far end. Excuse me, so they'll be there. All the drop-off for parents will be in the back, the new front for the main office area, and it's going to be two-way traffic all the way through. So whichever end you come in on, you can drive through. We talked about it a lot. This last year, if you remember, the ends were two-way, and then the middle was one-way because of the buses. The street is wide. We're going to paint a white line right down the middle. Obviously, you can't pass. But so wherever you come in, you can get through. Our fear with having that as a one-way, whichever way we picked, if you came in on one end or the other, the only way then to get to the middle was to go into the parking lot. And this is where we saw a catastrophe last year. People just cut through the parking lot because they couldn't, then they dropped their kid off, the kid's walking through traffic. It's like, oh my gosh. You're just waiting for something bad to happen. Now you can just drive on the street, stop, let them out, go in, take off, whichever direction. We are going to have the pedestrian sign in the middle of that street. So those crossings are gonna get repainted this week. Chase told me he'd repaint them. He's also gonna paint the white line all the way down it to keep it separate. We are gonna watch it. Officer Vogel was here, our people are gonna watch it, and if we see anything with it we don't like or something needs to be changed, we'll change it. But it just seemed like it's the easiest, less cumbersome, and if you come in, you can go all the way through on this street without having to cut into the parking lot. And parking lot traffic is bad, and we want to eliminate that. The other thing that we talked about, and you guys saw in that, if you were able to read it, is this is parking lot A. The signs are coming, we're waiting for them, they're supposed to come, I think, this week. Parking lot A, and then B is out just closer to the football field, that's staff parking only. The whole middle is C, that's all of our students, because we want them to enter the middle of the school. And then parking lot D on the far end is staff only, but it's also pick up and drop off for parents. If you remember when this was an elementary school up there, they came in and looped around and we walked it. We wanted those people to get off Park Avenue. And then if they didn't feel comfortable driving on the street, they could pull in right there because their door to get in is door 8, which is right there. If you remember the elementary, that worked really good in the past. So we thought, let's let those middle school parents have that option before and after school. There's plenty of room in there. They can loop in, drive right back out. So those were kind of the biggest things. We all agreed that this was worth giving a shot and starting it this way. I feel that it's going to stay that way, but until you do it, you know. So questions on that from anybody? About
I
that?
don't have questions on Glendon, but since you're talking about pickup and drop off, would you just go over Dilworth's?
Yep, Dilworth is going to stay the same as it was last year. So we have the north parking lot now, so before school you just come in and drop and go. And then after school, it's not perfect, it's getting better. Or they felt it was worth leaving alone again to start this year, so.
Okay, so the kids are to get off and go into the gym? Is that where they go?
Yep, so they're gonna come in door 1 from the buses and or from parents. They're gonna come into door 1. They can go to their room, they can go to have breakfast, or they can walk out to the playground, or they can go, I think the gym is the other option, I can't remember, or they're gonna keep them in the commons. I know they've had a lot of conversation about that, because the commons or that hallway is so big, that they're also gonna have tables set up in there, in the commons, so they could sit down and we could visit or whatever, or go have breakfast.
So the playground will be open in the morning again?
Well, this was part of that discussion in the fall, but we have to have them, if we have
Yeah,
an issue.
entering from the
yep,
same door.
Still gotta enter door 1. If that ends up being an issue, like, okay, now, Laura says, hey, the kids are, drop you off at the playground, then we're gonna have to probably close the playground. We'd like to keep it open in the fall and spring, but
I think the problem is that staff come in and out of that door regularly, the playground doors. And so people are
People see that.
seeing them coming in and out, and so then students are going in and out. So I
yeah,
think we
those
should-
doors will be locked, other than if we have people in the playground, we gotta let people in and out, I don't know.
Right.
It's
So
gonna be
I
one of
just
those things-
think maybe then we should encourage staff to use one of the side doors and not go into the fenced area otherwise it's encouraging other parents they may not differentiate a parent from a staff member
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, we can talk about that. I guess I wanted the playground to be available as long as it didn't cause other issues, right? And yes, we could go in the gym, and now
Energy.
Fayette, people are trying to set up, it's just, that Rebel Road, I guess as we call it, is huge. And if we put tables in there, which we are gonna do, that's also a place to hang out. It's different than a playground, I know that, it's different than a gym, but at least it's a space. If they need to wait before they can get into rooms. The other thing, obviously, is they can go have breakfast. So, there are some options there.
I would really love if they could do the playground
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
I mean,
me too
kids
also.
don't get outside enough and recess is limited,
Yep, it
and
is.
it's their only,
Yep.
I mean, a good opportunity to play and run off energy before they're inside for the
Yeah.
day.
And then we talked about locking the gates. You can't lock the gates, we gotta
You
get out.
can't do it two-way.
No, you
I mean, it
can't,
can't be one way.
so it's
I
just,
mean, we can put it out there too. If people are using it the right way, it's available. And
Yep.
if people start dropping off, we have to close it.
Yeah,
It's an
that-
incentive to do it the right way.
yeah, and send out reminders, right? Hey, remember you have to enter door 1, all students have to enter door 1, and go from there. So hopefully it works out okay. Because I'm with Brittany, I want kids to be on a playground too, if we can. So that's that. Anything else from transportation? But that's kind of our game plan to start. DLT meeting, I think I've already shared that. That's going to be August 29th at 7 a.m. It'll be right here in this room. August 28th, board meeting is the other one we have to adjust. Brooke and I talked about it today. Is it possible to stay on the 28th and go at 4:30 or 4:45? The open house starts at 5:30. Talked to Mr. Hendrickson today. Of course, 5th and 6th grade are gonna go right to their rooms to have their initial meeting right away. And I said, why don't you, anyway. So we're gonna leave it because that already went out. So I'm wondering if we could even go 4:45. We should be done in 45 minutes because I think that affects some of you in that open house. Or 4:30, I don't know, I'm just throwing it out there.
Sure, I can make that work.
Okay, which one? 4:30?
Either one, I'm sure I
I
can
can make it work.
figure it out.
For 4:30.
Yeah, is 4:30 work for everybody? Then we know we're done and we can get out of here. Okay?
Should work.
Should work.
I'm cutting it close, but
Yeah.
I might be dragging at the tail end.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, I
Or the
think.
beginning, I
Yeah,
guess.
the beginning, yeah. Okay, so we'll just shoot for 4:30. Hopefully Lindsay can make that work. I think that'll be tight for her too, if I remember right, but. And,
Facilities after.
oh, and then facilities after. So we're gonna have to remember in the weekly update, I had some things from the city of Dilworth and city of Glen I wanna talk about there. Can we meet, so if we do our work session on the 21st, who's at facilities? And it's the same way, it's policy group, isn't it? But you can't be here on the 21st, can you, Brittany?
No, but if they can be there, that's okay.
Okay, so can we maybe have that facilities, transportation meeting that same night on the 21st? And then I can kind of get you an agenda too, so you kind of know what we're gonna talk about. And, or you and I can visit too after that, or Brittany, or whatever. Okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
That way we can get that one done, and then we can do a report on the 28th.
Perfect.
And so Brittany, I guess we could talk then too, couldn't we, at the 28th maybe even, so. Okay, that's what I got. Questions about anything else?
All right, very good.
It's loud.
We'll go ahead
That was easy.
7.1, approval of minutes. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Amy. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Nicole. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign, motion passes. Consent agenda. We have approved the bills late for August, the amount of
$418,068.32.
the treasurer's monthly budget report in your packet. We have resignations of Shelley Cervantes, the high school counselor, effective the end of the 22-23 school year. Resignation of Jenny Johnson, elementary teacher, effective the end of the 22-23 school year. Resignation of Brown Gas Food Services at the end of the 22-23 school year. Resignation of Terry Kuska, paraprofessional, effective the end of the 22-23 school year. Resignation of Cindy Leach, paraprofessional, effective at the end of the 22-23 school year. We have a donation from the Caboose on the Loose for $500 for the cross-country student activity account. And extracurricular, approve the extracurricular activities coach list. Do I have a motion? Motion. Laura, sorry. Second, do we have a second? Second. Second by Mike. All right, any questions, discussion?
So we're approving the coaches for the.
Policy, yeah, it's for the school year, and then if anything else changes, you can see there are a few areas. We still do need a middle school cross-country coach. We need an assistant boys track coach. I think right now, the way it looks on that list.
Any other questions or discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, new and unfinished business. We jettisoned table 9.1. I'm going to 9.2. This is to do with policies for the internet acceptable use and safety policy. Do we have a motion?
I apologize. This is the other one, and I'm sorry. This is another one we need to table, because this one also includes the cell phone policy, which we had some discussion tonight in the policy committee, and I'm sorry, I had that in my head and I didn't look at the next page.
And I didn't do that. We have a motion to table.
Yeah.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Nicole, second by Brittany. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Thank you, sir.
Motion carries. 9.3, non-certified contractors for a contract for Amy Summers as a paraprofessional, class 2, step 5, effective the start of the 2023-24 24 school year. Do I have a motion? Motion by Laura. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Amy. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 9.4, non-certified contract. This is approved a contract for Destiny Swenson as paraprofessional, Class 2, Step 7, effective the start of the 2023-24 school year. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Nicole. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Brittany. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 9.5, fee schedule, and this is in your packet. This is approve the revised fiscal year 2024 fee schedule. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Nicole. Do I have a second? Second by Laura, I think. Any questions or discussion?
I just wanted to make sure, so we took the event supervisor off, the original one, but we forgot about middle school events and those games over there, and Katie needs people over there when she can't be there and she's over here, so our mistake. So you can see that we added it. I think it's highlighted in green in your packet in the bottom right. So we just wanted to make sure we got that back on there. So that's the only change.
And this next program is zeroed out.
Yep, and that was from our last time when you approved it, we took that, yep.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign.
I have a question, I guess, sorry.
Oh,
little
no
late.
worries.
No, it's not a big deal, but the snack program is $0, but can we just take it out because we're not doing a snack program?
Oh, we thought about it, I think part of
It
that.
looks like it's free. Don't you think, or not?
Maybe put it in because we usually keep like last year's as reference.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I think NA might be more appropriate, I think you're right.
maybe, yeah, for this year it's not applicable, but, if it ever came back, I mean, I don't know what this is gonna be, we're gonna learn a lot this year, I think, but I get what your point is, but I wanna make sure that they don't think it's free. That's
Well, I
true.
guess the other ones say free, not $0, but maybe NA, just so it's.
Yeah, good point,
Okay.
I think we should, yeah, because it is new, it is different,
just in case.
yep, good point. Okay.
All right, so we've got motion. Get a motion?
Yep.
And second. All right, very good. With that change, are you all right? Nicole, with that change in there, make that NA, yes?
Correct.
More second on the basis, all right. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 9.6, non-certified contract. This is a contract for Michelle Fitch for food services, Class 1, Step 10, effective the start of the 2023-24 school year. Do I have a motion? Motion by Amy. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Brittany.
Yep.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 9.7, this is for a non-certified contract for don't be winter shy, paraprofessional, Class 2, Step 3, effective start of the 2023-24 school year. And I apologize if I missed that name. It's not one I'm familiar with. We have a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Laura. Brittany,
Second.
Nicole, second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Sorry. I was delayed, I was drinking.
No worries. Opposed? Motion carries. 10.1, next board meeting is August 28th at 4:30, and we're gonna have that in right here. Followed by the facility/transportation committee.
Which is now gonna be
Now
on
gonna be on August 31st.
Yes.
Is it after the work session?
That's a good point. Do we want to do it before or after the work session?
It's on a Monday, so I'm flexible, whatever.
Should we go 5 o'clock? Are you good with that?
Sure.
Okay, 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. And then the work session will be at 6, so maybe we want to make sure that announcement's on here too, I suppose.
Yeah, and the work session here, for the board will be at 6 o'clock on August 21st in the DGF community room here. All right. Any other business of the board?
Actually, can we go back to the one, since we took a motion and a second to table that 9.2,
Yep.
can we get a motion and a second to table 9.1?
We already approved the schedule.
That was before the agenda was approved, we took that out.
Okay.
So that was a change, yeah,
We're good.
yeah,
Good point.
yeah. Because we did that before.
Before I got it.
We just missed it.
Hearing no other business, we'll adjourn the meeting. I was trying to roll